Alex wiped his hands on his oil-stained overalls and glanced at the night sky. The twin moons of Varosia glimmered above the colony, casting pale light over the metallic structures that reached like spires into the clouds. It was quiet, unusually quiet for a colony that normally hummed with the energy of trade and exploration. But tonight, Alex had work to finish. The communications array on the tower's peak had shown unusual readings earlier, and if the system failed, the colony could lose contact with nearby outposts, and that could be dangerous. He climbed the final ladder to the observation platform, the wind tugging at his jacket. The array was a complex mix of human and alien technology, sleek panels and wires intertwined with glowing conduits that pulsed softly. Alex loved this part of his job, the challenge of keeping the colony connected to the rest of the galaxy. But tonight felt different. Something in the air, or maybe it was just the sense of isolation, made the hair on his neck stand up. A soft sound made him turn. "You're late," said a voice, smooth and confident. Alex froze. He hadn't heard anyone climb the tower. He looked around and saw a figure stepping out from behind one of the panels. She was tall, elegant, with silver-toned skin that shimmered faintly in the moonlight. Her eyes were bright, intelligent, and her gaze seemed to see through him. I didn't hear you come up," Alex said, trying to keep his voice steady. She smiled, a faint knowing curve of her lips. "You tend to focus too much on the machines," she said. "But that's what makes you interesting." Alex's heart skipped a beat. She moved with grace, her every step measured, confident. "Who are you?" he asked. "Lyra," she said simply. "I am a diplomat, sent to observe human operations here." Her voice had a musical quality, calming yet commanding. Alex noticed her eyes lingered on the array, then back to him. "And perhaps to test human reactions?" Alex wasn't sure what to make of that. He had dealt with alien visitors before, but few had the kind of presence Lyra carried. There was a tension in the air, electric and strange. "I need to finish this array," Alex said, turning back to the panels. "There's an energy surge in the readings, could be dangerous." Lyra tilted her head, watching him. "Do you always talk to machines like they're people?" she asked, amusement in her tone. Alex shrugged. "Machines don't lie," he said. "And they don't get distracted by other things." He didn't mention that he was distracted right now, staring at her and wondering how she got up here without making a sound. Lyra stepped closer, and the soft glow of her skin reflected on the metal panels. "You want to know if I'm not wearing anything underneath?" she whispered, her tone teasing yet deliberate. Alex froze. He blinked. That wasn't something he expected to hear while fixing a communications array. He swallowed, trying to focus on the work. He paused, shaking his head to clear it. "I don't think that's relevant." She laughed softly, the sound like wind chimes. "Perhaps not," she said. "But curiosity is part of being human, isn't it?" Before Alex could respond, a loud bang echoed through the tower. The array shuddered violently, sparks flying from one of the conduits. Alex jumped forward to stabilize it, grabbing a panel just as it threatened to detach. Lyra moved beside him instinctively, her hands brushing his briefly, as she helped him hold the array steady. "Careful," she said. "This isn't just a test. There's more at work here than you realize." Alex looked at her, startled. "More?" "Yes," she said, her eyes scanning the system. "Someone, or something, is interfering with the colony's core systems. You need to act fast." Adrenaline kicked in. Alex's fingers moved quickly, reconnecting wires, rerouting energy flows, stabilizing the array. Lyra watched, occasionally offering suggestions. Together they worked as a team, the tension between them mixing with the urgency of the moment. Finally, the array stabilized. humming normally again. Alex exhaled, wiping sweat from his forehead. He looked at Lyra, who was observing him with an unreadable expression. "That was intense," Alex said. Lyra's lips curved into a small smile. "You handle pressure well. I see why humans are considered resourceful." Alex felt a flush rise to his cheeks. "Thanks," he muttered. He wasn't used to praise from alien diplomats, especially ones who looked like she did. The ground beneath the tower trembled slightly, another warning that the threat wasn't gone. Alex and Lyra exchanged a glance, understanding without words that their work was far from over. They made their way down the tower together, navigating the colony's corridors. The lights flickered intermittently, a sign that the hacker, or whatever it was still interfering. Lyra explained that her people had sophisticated detection systems, and together they began tracing the source of the disturbance. As they walked, Alex couldn't help but notice Lyra's confidence. She moved with precision, analyzing every detail of the colony's systems, pointing out weaknesses, suggesting improvements. Despite the situation, her presence was compelling. He found himself drawn to her intelligence, her poise, and yes, even the playful teasing she had shown earlier. "Do you always speak in riddles?" Alex asked, trying to break the tension. Lyra smiled faintly. "Only when it amuses me. Curiosity is valuable, but patience is required too." They reached the control hub, the heart of the colony's systems. Screens flickered with warnings, some showing areas of the colony under strain. Alex's hands flew over the controls, analyzing the breach, trying to isolate the source of interference. Lyra stood beside him, pointing out irregular patterns he might have missed. "Someone here knows our systems well," Alex said, frowning. Lyra nodded. "Yes, and they're clever. But humans adapt quickly. That's why I observe you with interest." Suddenly, one of the screens lit up with a live feed, a shadowy figure moving through the colony's corridors, bypassing security protocols. Alex leaned closer. "They know us. They've studied our defenses." Lyra's expression hardened. "Then we need to be faster." The tension between them shifted from curiosity to urgency. Every move now mattered, every decision critical. They worked side by side, human ingenuity and alien intuition combining to track the intruder. Hours passed like minutes. They traced the hacker's signal to a maintenance sub-level beneath the colony. The corridor leading down was dim, the walls lined with pipes and conduits. Alex felt a thrill of anticipation and apprehension. "You ready?" Lyra asked quietly. Alex nodded. "As ready as I'll ever be." They descended into the sub-level, their footsteps echoing in the narrow passage. The air smelled faintly metallic, tinged with the alien scent of Lyra's presence. The hacker was close, and the signals indicated an advanced system attempting to breach their communications. Suddenly, a door hissed open ahead of them. A figure stepped out, human-like, but with movements too precise, too deliberate to be ordinary. The hacker was aware of them. Alex and Lyra exchanged a glance, silently agreeing to act together. Before they could make a move, Lyra leaned slightly closer and whispered, her voice a mixture of amusement and challenge. "Are you really ready for what's coming?" Alex's heart raced. He didn't know what she meant fully, but he understood this. Whatever lay ahead would test both his skills and his courage. And for the first time, he realized that this wasn't just about the colony. It was about survival, trust, and the unpredictable alliance forming between a human engineer and a mysterious alien diplomat. With a deep breath, Alex stepped forward, following Lyra into the shadows. The unknown awaited, and together they would face it. The corridor ahead darkened, lit only by the faint glow of their combined technology and determination. The story of courage, curiosity, and unexpected connection was only beginning. Alex followed Lyra into the dim corridor, his pulse quickening with every step. The sub-level beneath the colony had a different feel than the upper levels. Pipes ran along the walls, dripping with condensation, and faint hums of alien machinery echoed through the narrow space. The light from the panels they carried cast long shadows, making the passage look almost alive. "You think we can stop them?" Alex asked, keeping his voice low. Lyra glanced at him, her silver-toned skin glinting softly in the light. "We have to. If this hacker succeeds, the colony's communications will collapse, and other colonies could be at risk. We cannot let that happen." Alex nodded, gripping the panel tightly. He had fixed equipment in extreme situations before, but this was different. This was not just about machines. It was about survival, strategy, and trust in someone he barely knew. The corridor ended at a reinforced door. Holographic symbols glowed faintly, scanning them as they approached. Lyra reached out, her fingers brushing the panel. The symbols shifted, recognizing her alien signature. The door hissed open, revealing a small control room filled with screens, wires, and blinking lights. In the center, the hacker moved swiftly, bypassing systems with unnatural precision. Alex froze for a moment. The figure looked human at first glance, but something about the movements, sharp, precise, and deliberate, didn't feel right. "They're fast," Alex muttered. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Not fast enough. We moved together." She gestured toward two control panels. "I can disrupt the signal from here, but I'll need you to reroute the power flow. Timing is critical." Alex took his place, feeling the tension tighten around them. His hands moved quickly over the controls, guided by instinct and the instructions Lyra gave. Every second mattered. Sparks flew from one of the panels as the hacker noticed their intrusion, but Lyra's calm presence helped steady Alex's focus. "You're doing well," she said, almost as if she knew what he was capable of before he did. Alex swallowed and focused. He had never worked with an alien diplomat in such close quarters, in such a high-stakes situation, but somehow their teamwork was seamless. Human intuition and alien experience blended perfectly. The hacker paused, realizing they were closing in. Alex noticed a small device on the table, a signal disruptor capable of shutting down the colony's systems entirely. He made a split-second decision. "Lyra, I'll grab it!" he shouted. "No!" she replied, but Alex had already lunged. He snatched the device, feeling its energy hum through his gloves. The hacker tried to react, but Lyra activated her panel, sending a pulse that disabled the hacker's defensive drones. Together, they had the advantage. Alex smashed the disruptor onto the floor, neutralizing it safely. The hacker froze for a moment, then bolted toward a maintenance hatch. Lyra moved swiftly, her stride long and confident, intercepting him with ease. Alex caught up, feeling a mix of exhilaration and relief. "You underestimated us," Lyra said, her tone calm but firm. The hacker's eyes flickered, then he, or it, vanished through the hatch into the darkness below. Alex exhaled, his body trembling slightly from adrenaline. "They got away," he said. Lyra studied him for a moment. "They may have escaped physically, but their plan is stopped." "That is what matters." Alex nodded, though he couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The hacker's skill and knowledge suggested a larger organization behind it, and Lyra. She had been right beside him the whole time, confident, capable, and fearless. They retraced their steps back to the upper levels, the colony's hum returning to normal as systems stabilized. Lights flickered back to life, screens refreshed with secure connections, and the faint glow of the moons bathed the colony once again. Alex finally allowed himself to breathe. "I never thought I'd work so closely with an alien diplomat," he admitted. Lyra's smile returned, soft and almost teasing. "And yet, you did not falter. That is why humans are remarkable." He glanced at her, realizing how much he had relied on her, how much he had learned from her calm confidence and sharp mind. She wasn't just an observer, she was an equal, a partner. "Do you always speak in riddles?" Alex asked again, half smiling. "Only when it amuses me," Lyra replied. "And I must say your curiosity is refreshing." Alex chuckled. He felt the tension from earlier melt away slightly, replaced by something warmer, something he couldn't quite name. Despite the danger, despite the unknown challenges ahead, he felt a strange sense of camaraderie with Lyra. As they reached the main hub, Lyra paused and looked at him seriously. "Alex, you have courage, and you adapt quickly. But there will be more challenges in this galaxy, ones that test not only skill, but also trust and ingenuity. Are you prepared?" Alex met her gaze. He could see the sincerity in her eyes, the weight of experience behind her words. "I'll do what I have to," he said firmly. "I trust you." A small smile curved Lyra's lips. "And I trust you. That is how alliances are built, human and alien together." They walked through the corridors, the night sky stretching above the colony, the twin moons casting their silver glow. Alex felt a sense of accomplishment but also anticipation. He knew this encounter was only the beginning of something larger, something that would test the limits of human ingenuity and courage. The days that followed were filled with debriefings, system checks, and quiet observations. The colony returned to normal, but Alex and Lyra's partnership deepened. She often teased him gently, testing his reactions, while he responded with careful thought and occasionally dry humor. They learned from each other, human intuition and alien precision merging into a formidable team. One evening, as Alex worked late on a secondary array, Lyra appeared beside him without warning. "You never know when danger will strike," she said softly. Alex looked up, half smiling. "I guess I'm learning to expect the unexpected." She leaned slightly closer, the faint shimmer of her skin reflecting on the panels. "And yet you remain composed, even when curiosity tempts you." Alex swallowed, realizing that her words carried more meaning than he could yet fully understand. He focused on the controls, feeling the thrill of problem-solving, the challenge of collaboration, and the subtle pull of something personal. Days turned into weeks, and the galaxy outside the colony remained unpredictable. Alex and Lyra continued their work, facing minor crises, repairing systems, and occasionally intercepting mysterious signals from afar. Each challenge reminded Alex that humans, even in a galaxy full of advanced civilizations, could be resourceful, courageous, and adaptable. One night, after a long day of repairs, Lyra turned to him as they stood on the observation platform. "Alex, I have seen many humans, but you are different. You embrace challenge, uncertainty, and yet you remain steadfast." Alex chuckled, a little embarrassed. "I just do what I have to." Lyra tilted her head, her eyes reflecting the twin moons. "Perhaps, but it is that courage that makes humans remarkable. And it is that courage that will see you through whatever comes next." Alex felt a swell of pride, not for himself, but for the partnership that had formed between them. Together, human and alien, they had overcome a challenge that could have destroyed the colony. Together, they had built trust, respect, and a connection that promised more than either had expected. As the moons rose higher in the sky, Alex and Lyra stood side by side, looking out over the colony. He realized that the galaxy was vast, full of dangers, mysteries, and unexpected encounters, but with courage, ingenuity, and unexpected alliances, humans could not only survive, they could thrive. Lyra smiled faintly, a glimmer of amusement in her eyes. "And who knows?" she said softly. "Perhaps curiosity will lead to even greater discoveries and even greater challenges." Alex met her gaze and nodded. "Then let's face them, together." The colony remained safe for now, but the galaxy beyond beckoned, and Alex, alongside Lyra, knew that whatever lay ahead, humans had the ingenuity, courage, and resilience to meet it. For the first time, he understood what it truly meant to stand shoulder to shoulder with alien civilizations, to face the unknown with confidence, and to embrace the adventure that awaited. The night stretched on, quiet and full of promise. The twin moons of Varosia glimmered above, casting silver light over a colony that had survived the unknown. And as Alex and Lyra prepared for the challenges to come, one thing was clear. Humanity, with its courage and curiosity, was ready for whatever the galaxy had in store.